All right, so I just got a message on Facebook Messenger from my youngest daughter. Tried to claim her innocence on everything. Can't. Her only concern was that I mentioned her friend Alaska and the FBI agent. Is she getting a little pressure put on her by this family? Because she said what she said in front of Misty and I, and we don't lie. Put this under a lie detector test and see if you could, figure something out about me, because I don't lie. You told us that Alaska's boyfriend ran drugs for Alaska's father, and that Alaska's father was an FBI agent. Now, either you were lying at the time or you're lying now. You have said horrific things about me and my partner, calling her a troll. You've accused me of doing things that your Mimi did. You somehow, you said in your message that this FBI agent family has been there for you. How exactly did you get across in the middle of a meth psychosis a U.S.-Canadian border with a car and funds to do it when you were living out of your car and lost your job? Somebody paid for that. And I'm sorry that you've made some adult decisions that don't serve you well. And I'm really glad if you're in the healing process that you're healing. But you've done what you've done, and no amount of lying is going to cover that up. So you must be getting a little pressure from Alaska and her family because I told something you told me. That's not on me, that's on you. And I'm sorry for her illness that she is diagnosed with. She's either really ill or it's one of those medical diagnoses like some of the others. And if they get caught, they go back to their original diagnoses. Who knows what really is truth with that, other than some proof I have with some other people. It doesn't excuse the fake phone call to me saying that you had a stroke and all this crap. And then you turn around and tell your boyfriend you're having a miscarriage and that's why you're in the hospital. It doesn't take away that you cooked for us and then we were attempted murdered that night and you didn't eat anything and we were raped severely. It doesn't take away that you were involved with the foster family on social media behind my back. It doesn't take away you telling me that I'm someone I'm not and doing things that I never did and accusing me of letting people do. You've said what you've said. You've done what you've done. You're having trouble owning it. And now somebody in the FBI is putting pressure on you or Alaska because of whatever medical conditions her mother has. I'm so sorry for her medical conditions. It's not my concern. Y'all were involved in a bunch of crimes. You admitted in front of Misty and I that her boyfriend ran drugs for Alaska's father. You said it. You can't take it back. You said the things you said. You did the things you did. You have said and done horrific things to me and my partner. That's on you. You don't need to message me telling me some fake story that you've never brought any harm to anybody, which is bullshit, and you know it. Whose idea was the fentanyl, kid? Where did you get it? You can say you didn't talk to Mike, you didn't do all this stuff. That's fine. You can say that if you were talking to other people and you were doing other things. You got that $5,000 loan paid back, right? That's what you said anyway. You posted our address several places. And you can't take all of that back. And I love you dearly, so don't think that I don't. But you did what you did, and you said what you said, and you were involved with what you were involved with, and that was by your own accord, your choice to do all these terrible things. And you sending me a message on Facebook Messenger isn't going to change what you've been involved in. You can talk about Aubrey and what a bad person she is, but you are far worse than Aubrey. You can't even admit what you did. You just continue to lie to me and then try to act like I'm the bad guy. Even up to 3 months ago, if you were so-called healed, you were on social media dogging me. And somebody was calling you out as a narcissist and telling lies about me. You aren't going to be able to take all of it back and just, oh, I'm healed. I'm glad you're healed, and you need to, energetically. But don't message me because you're getting some kind of pressure from the people you were involved with because I told the truth. Maybe you should try it sometimes. It's a good release. Telling me how this FBI family took care of you so well is all... Just, I'm sorry for your friend. I'm sorry her mom is ill. It's not going to stop me from telling the truth. Y'all did some really terrible shit to us, and you think you're going to cover it all up. And I'm not going to let it happen. You own your shit, kid. Because you can't just go and do all that stuff and then say, oh, I'm healed, I'm better now. It's not like we had some little family argument at the kitchen table. You called me and told me you and Zach were fighting and that he was abusing you and that he killed your cat and that he put your lizard outside for it to die, trying to get me to Alabama. So I called to get a well check done on you, and all you told the officers was that I made it up and that was my way because we were fighting to pay you back in a fight. When you called me crying saying the boy was beating you up and you needed help, and you lied to police officers. You can't take back what you've done. It's not forgivable. Again, I'm glad you're healing, but you can't take back all that stuff. I honestly tried to get you help that night because you said the man was beating you up. And you lied to those officers and told them that you and I were in an argument, and that was my way of just being an ass to you, trying to stir shit for you. You tried to twist it after you told me you were harmed. Just own your shit, kid, and quit telling me how bad Aubrey is. Just because you won't tell doesn't mean it didn't happen. Okay? Don't waste your breath, because I'm going to call out your FBI agent for everything that he could possibly be and what he helped cover up and what he was involved in. Who got you across that Canadian border with no registration on those plates? Who gave you the money? You had lost your job and were living in your car. You can say it may look one way, but it's another. But I was also getting information about who was helping you and covering it all up. So don't try messaging me not owning your shit. You did what you did. You said what you said. You did fake videos of you shaking, saying you had a stroke and all this stuff. I recorded all that. And then your boyfriend at the time, regardless of whether he was a meth head or not, was questioned by a third party and was told, you told him you were in having a miscarriage in the hospital, but you told us you were in having a stroke and low blood sugar and all this shit. I've got that recording. You did what you did. You've told so many lies. No, I'm not triggered. I just pondered whether I should respond or not. But I'm calling you out for the liar that you are. How dare you say the lies that you have about me? Just to cover up your own shit. Make yourself look like, you set up your reasons for why you did what you did by your psychosis and all this stuff, so that maybe you aren't held accountable for the things that you did. You did what you did. You said what you said. And you brought harm, whether you choose to say that in writing or not. I'm not triggered. I could either respond or totally ignore you, and I chose to respond and call you out. I'm glad you're healed. Again, I'll say it. Or healing that you think you're doing. But if you can't tell the truth, then you're not healed as much as you think you are. And I'm sorry about all of your friends that you're so worried about. Start telling the truth, child of mine. It'll never be right until you do. Whether you're involved with the FBI protecting you or not, because that's basically what you said in your message. If he was protecting your crimes, he's not a good guy. Stop messaging me with lies. I'm sorry if somebody's shaking you a little bit because I mentioned something, but I'm going to tell the truth. You were the only one home, and you fed us and wouldn't allow us in the kitchen. You know what you did. Whose idea was the fentanyl? My knee injury, where you ripped my knee, you were the only one home. What was in the jar? And why did you get the sheriffs to cover it up? How you have to have power to do that. Did your FBI friend cover up the jar that we found on your dresser that made us so sick? Whose idea was the fentanyl, chloroform, everything else? I don't care who's covering for you, whether it was feds or not. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I'm going to tell the truth regardless. Stop messaging me. I'll consider it harassment at this point. You're like the Menendez brothers, and you're trying to come up with scenarios that, try to make you sound oh so innocent and that, wow, wow, wah, wah. Quit accusing me of things, everything your Mimi did to you. I did nothing but try to protect you and keep you okay with her. She's the one that did it all, and somehow you've twisted it around on me. Even your friends said so. They don't even see what you see. They've spent 10 days at my house, a lot of your friends, and said, yeah, she's the problem. I mean, they pulled me aside. They even drove up in their car and told me shit about what you were saying behind my back, even back then when you were a teenager. Stop messaging me your pathetic stories. And I'm sorry if you've gotten yourself in a bind, but I can't help you out of this. You told Misty and I that Alaska's boyfriend ran drugs for Alaska's father, and that Alaska's father was an FBI agent. You said it in front of two people. And they can put this video in front of any kind of lie detector test they want. Then they'll be able to tell that I'm telling the truth. You said it. That's on you. Own your shit and tell the truth. Quit messaging me.